Hello, my sewing friends, and welcome to the sewing class. Today's sewing class is a complete training on drafting a basic bodice that fits your body perfectly. We are going to be using Winifred Aldrich's method, but obviously I've altered the method here and there to make sure that the resulting bodice is one that is going to fit perfectly to your body. So you better make sure that you watch the entire video to get all the tips and the tricks of getting that perfectly fitting basic bodice. Another thing is that I've changed the units for the measurements from centimeters to inches. That is to make sure that everyone is able to follow along, because we know that in the fashion industry, most people use inches instead of centimeters. If you're a beginner and you want to learn pattern drafting, cutting, and also sewing, make sure that you register for our upcoming pattern making and sewing masterclass. If you register now for the upcoming class, you're going to have a 50% discount from the original price. The link to the masterclass is in the description of the video. Again, my name is Gondile Lamini, known as Q. Let's get on to the lesson, shall we? As you can see, I've already prepared the pattern paper right here. And we're also going to make use of the tape measure, our L square ruler, our medium length ruler, and we're also going to make use of our French curve or the curved ruler. Then we've got our pen, of course. And we're also going to make use of our tracing wheel. And lastly, we also have our paper scissors. We're going to make use of the shoulder to shoulder. We're going to make use of the bust circumference, the waist circumference, the hip circumference, and then the back width, and then the chest, the nape to waist, and then the arm side depth, and then lastly we're going to make use of the dart. Now the dart is not amongst the measurements that which you can take on your body. I have provided you guys with this standard measurement chart. This is where you're going to get the size of your dart. If you can look at my bust is 42 inches. Now using the bust circumference, which in my case is 42 inches, come straight to the standard body measurements. You are going to locate the bust circumference which is closest to your own bust circumference. In my case, mine is 42 inches. So the closest one that I have on the chart is 42 and 1/8 inches. Now, the one that is lower than me is 40 and 1/8 inches, and the other one is 44 and 1/8. So the one that is very, very close to my own bust circumference is 42 and 1/8, and that is size 20 on the chart. I'm going to follow the size 20 at the top, and then on the side, I'm going to locate the dart. And then this is my dart measurement. It is 3 and 3/4 inches. So that is what I'm going to use for my dart. If, for instance, your bust circumference is 30, then you're going to come down to the dart here, and it's going to be 2 inches. So the dart increases with your bust circumference as you go up with the sizes. I do hope that you've already downloaded the standard body measurements. It is down below this video. So these are the measurements that we're going to use for this basic bodice. So now we're going to start at the top of our pattern paper, and we're going to measure down 1.5 inches like so. And then we measure another 1.5 inches. Next, we get a ruler and roll out a straight line. Next, we come to the side of our pattern paper, and again, we're going to measure another 1.5 inch like so. And again, we draw another straight line. Next, from this point, we are going to measure down the depth of the neck at the back. And the standard measurement for this pattern drafting method is 3/4 of an inch or 0.75 of an inch. So this is 0.75. We're going to measure it from here, and then we make a mark. And then now from this point going down, we are going to measure the nape to waist measurement. So in my case, the nape to waist is 16 inches. So we are going to measure 16 inches like so from this point. And then we make a mark. We are going to get an L square ruler like this one. And then we're going to place it along this line right here. And then we draw a straight line like that. In case you don't have an L square, you can measure the 16 inches from here like that. And after that, you can then take the measurement from the top like so, and we're going to get 16.75 inches, and then you move to another point right here like that, and then you mark the same measurement like that. And thereafter, you can get your ruler and then join these 2 points into a straight line like that.
Okay, it's one and the same thing. It's just that the L square ruler will save you time if you have it. Next, we are going to make use of the bust circumference. In my case, it is 42 inches. The bust circumference is equal to 42. And then on the 42, we are then going to add 1 inch for ease allowance. This will allow us to be able to move when we are wearing the bodice. So we add 1 inch for ease, and then we divide the total by 2. So now we are going to say 42 plus 1. We are going to get 43. And then we divide 43 by 2. And the answer is going to be 21.5 inches. So this is the 21.5 inches. We are going to measure it across like that. Do the same at the bottom. Measure 21.5 inches like so. Next, we're going to draw a straight line like that. Remember, when drafting a pattern, we said we only draft half of the front and also half of the back. So that is why we divided by 2. So this will be half the back, and this side we are going to have half the front. And then next, we are going to start by drafting the back of our basic bodice. So now from this point, we are going to measure the arm side depth. This is how we calculate the arm side depth. We are going to say the arm side depth plus 3/8 inches, like so. In my case, the arm side depth is 9 inches. So I'm going to have 9 plus 3/8, which is going to give me 9 and 3/8 inches. Therefore, I'm going to measure down 9 and 3/8. Start measuring from this point right here. 3/8 is right here. We make a mark. We are also going to do the same this side. To get the measurement that we are supposed to take that side, we are going to measure from the top like so. And then we're going to get 10 and 1/8 inches. So this side, we will take the total from there, which is 10 and 1/8. Alternatively, because we have an L square, we can use our L square again. After making this point, we can then place our L square ruler like that. And then we can then draw a straight line like that. That's how it's going to be. Next, we're going to draw a line here, which is going to serve as our shoulder slope at the back. Now, the standard measurement for the shoulder slope is 1.25 inches for smaller bust, and then 1.5 inches for medium bust, and for large and extra large, it's 1.75 inches. So mine is going to be 1.5 inches. So I'm going to measure 1.5 from this point, 1.5 inches like so, and then make a mark. And again, get your L square ruler if you have it, put it like that, and then draw a line maybe up to here. Next, we are going to mark the width for our back neck right here. And again, the back neck width, to make it easier for you, I've also included the measurement for the back width in this standard body measurements. This is the standard body measurement. For mine, this is, I said I'm a size 20, so I'm supposed to find the neck width right here. So this is the neck width for me. And then I'm going to trace it up to my size 20 right here. So my neck width is supposed to be 3 and 1/8. You can do the same thing for yourself. So I'm going to mark the 3 and 1/8, which is right here. Make a mark. And then next, I'm going to use the French curve to draw the neck for my back neck. If you don't have the French curve, you can also use your free hand. Make sure that you are steady. And you make the curve smooth like so. Next, we are going to mark the shoulder to shoulder measurement along this line from this corner. Our shoulder to shoulder measurement is 16 inches. So we are drafting half the back. So we are going to divide 16 by 3, and the answer will be 8 inches. We are going to mark the 8 inches like so. Next, we are going to move the shoulder onto this line, which is the shoulder slope line. So we are going to make a straight line like that. Then we are going to mark right here. So this point is going to be the end of our shoulder line. Next, we draw the shoulder line like so. We are going to mark the back width along this line, and our back width is 15 and 3/8. And because we are doing half the back, then we are going to divide the back width by 2. And then we are going to add 0.25 inches for ease. So it's 15/3/8 over 2 plus 0.25. Convert 15/3/8 to a decimal fraction. Going to be 15.375 plus 0.25. We say 15.375 plus 0.25. This will be equal to 15.375 as a decimal fraction over 2 and then plus 0.25. So we are going to divide 15.375, we divide it by 2, and the answer will be 7.688. And then we add 0.25. That will give us 7.94. Therefore, we are going to mark 7.94 here. It's going to be around here, almost 8 inches. We are going to mark the same along this line, right here. It's just behind this point. Next, we draw a straight line. Thereafter, we are going to find half this line, like so. We are going to fold the tape measure into 2. Mark it like so. We do the same along the waistline. And then we're going to draw a dotted line. We're going to use this line later on when we are constructing the waist dart. Next, we are coming to the front of our basic pattern. We are going to start by marking the depth of our neck along the front. It is the same as the width of our neck. The width of our neck, remember, it was 3 1/8 inches. So we are going to mark 3 1/8 inches like so. Next, we are going to mark the width of our neck at the front. The width of our neck at the front is less than the width of our neck at the back. It is less by 0.25 of an inch. The front neck width equals neck width minus 0.25. So our neck width is 3.125. This is the same as 3 1/8. And then on that, we are going to subtract 0.25. In case you are not sure how to convert decimals to fractions, please consult the table that we have left at the bottom of the video. You can download it and print it. We are going to say 3.125. We subtract 0.25, and that will give us 2.875. We can also convert this back to fractions. That will be equal to 2 7 over 8 inches. Measure 2 7/8 inches. So we are going to use our French curve to draw the front neck curve, like so. Next, we are going to draw our front shoulder dart. This is our front shoulder dart. Remember, you cannot measure this shoulder dart. I have provided you guys with these standard measurements. You can also download them at the bottom of the video. Look at the bust that corresponds to your own. In my case, my bust is 42 inches, so the closest to my bust is 42 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to move down and look for the dart. The dart is right here. So this corresponds to this measurement. Mine is 3 3/4. Then I'm going to measure here 3 3/4, like so. Next, I'm supposed to draw the shoulder slope right here, the front shoulder slope. So what I'm going to do is, along this line at the back, we are going to measure down 0.5 of an inch, like so. Then we're going to draw a straight line, which is going to be plus minus 4 inches, plus minus 4 to 4.5 inches. Next, we are going to measure the shoulder line at the back, which in this case, it is 5 3/8 of an inch. So we are going to measure 5 3/8 of an inch from this point, and then pivot our tape measure until we meet the line that we have drawn just now. Then we are going to make a point right there, like so. Thereafter, we are going to draw a straight line and join the 2 points. Next, we are going to mark the following measurement here. We are going to use both the chest measurement and also the dart measurement. We are going to say half the chest measurement. We add that to half the dart. Basically, we are going to say the chest measurement plus the dart and then divide those two by 2. So our chest is 15.5. And then we're going to add the dart, which is 3 3/4, which is equivalent to 3.75. And then we divide the answer by 2. 15.5. We add 3.75, and the answer is 19.25. And we divide that by 2. We are going to get 9.625. 9.625 is 9 5/8. Okay, so this is our answer. We are going to measure 9 5/8 right here. 9 5/8. And then we make a mark like so. Using our square ruler, we are then going to extend the line up to this point. So we draw a straight line like so. Now along this line, we are supposed to measure the bust span or the nipple to nipple measurement. This is also called the nipple to nipple. We are supposed to measure half the nipple to nipple measurement. This is because this is also half of the front. But in my case, I have since discovered that the best measurement that you can do, you can use the nipple to nipple, it's okay, divide it by 2 and get the answer. But in my case, I think it works best if you just simply find half of this. So in this case, I'm just going to find half of this measurement right here. So I would advise you guys to do the same. However, you can see other people, maybe they are doing the nipple to nipple measurement. That is also okay. In my experience, this one works best. Next, we are going to measure the same measurement along the waistline, like so. We make a mark. Then we are going to join these 2 points with a dotted line. And thereafter, we are supposed to construct the shoulder dart right here. And then we are supposed to measure 1 inch from the bust line going down like so. And that is our bust point. We are then going to construct the shoulder dart from this point. Next, we are going to find half of this line right here. So we are going to measure this distance, which is 4 inches, and half of that is 2. So we make a mark here. We are then going to mark the same point here. We are then going to use a square ruler like this one. Place our square ruler like so, and then we draw a straight line to the bottom. We are going to use these lines for constructing the waist darts. So it was supposed to be a dotted line. We are then going to construct the armhole curves on the back and also on the front. To do that, we are then going to measure this line from here, remember. So we measure from the top right there. We are then going to find half of the line by folding the tape measure like so. And then we make a mark. We are going to then measure this line again. This line is 7 3/8 of an inch. So we are going to say 7 3/8 of an inch. Divide this by 3. At the back, we divide it by 2. At the front, we divide by 3. This is 7.375. Then you divide it by 3. 7.375. Divide by 3. And the answer will be 2.458, which is roughly equal to 2.46. So this will be roughly 2.5 inches like so. We are going to make that measurement. Then next, we are then going to draw the curves from this point to that point end. So right here, we have almost a straight line from the top to this point. That is going to be our back armhole. Next, we're going to use this point, that point, and also this one to construct the front armhole. Use our French curve. This is our pattern right here. And then now we are constructing the waist dart. First, we have to find out how many inches we are supposed to take away along the waist. In my case, my bust plus 1 inch is Remember the 1 inch that we added when we were constructing the rectangle in the beginning. So this is the 1 inch right here. It's for ease. And then we are going to say this. We are then supposed to say minus the waist plus 1 inch for ease. And then we divide the answer by 2. The bust plus ease is going to be 43 as it was. And then we are then going to take away my waist circumference is 36. So it's going to be 36 plus 1. 36 plus 1, that will give us 37. And then we divide that by 2. We then say 43 minus 37, that will give us 6 inches, and we divide that by 2. The reason why we are dividing by 2 is because we are constructing everything in half. This is half the back and this is half the front. So the same thing that we did when we were doing the bust, we are doing now. We are dividing the answer by 2. 6 divided by 3, the answer will be 3. And we have to take away a total of 3 inches. Now we have got 3 darts that we are going to construct. This will be the first one, the second one on the side, and then the third one on the front. Always make sure that the front dart is the biggest. That is because you have some breast or you have a bust here. So it should create that nice curve at the bottom so that it creates a shaping to accommodate your breast right here. Otherwise, you could easily divide the 3 by 3 and make 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. But that will not be okay because we want the biggest dart to be the one along the front. So I'm just going to make it bigger than all the others. Then this one will be the next biggest and the smallest will be the back. That is because I hope you guys, you know your back. At the back, there's not much of a curve that is happening because most of the shaping is along your front where you've got some breasts. So at the back, it's just a bit of going down along the waist area. Otherwise, we have the smallest dart along the back. So because of the 3 inches, I'm going to take 1.25 inches and give it to the front. So I'm going to take half of that and mark it this side. And then the other half I'm marking on this other side. In total, this is 1.25 of an inch for the dart. And then if I say 3 inches minus 1.25, I'm going to be left with 1.75 inches. Now, remember, I said this one is the biggest. This is the next bigger one, and that is the smallest. So if I'm left with 1.75 inches, I'm going to take the 1 inch and give it to the side. Then the 0.75 is going to be for the back. So right here, I'm going to mark half an inch this side and half an inch on that other side. Now we are left with only 0.75 of an inch, which we are going to give to the back. We are going to mark 3/8 of an inch this side and also 3/8 of an inch on this other side. So this will be the total of our dart. We are then going to construct the dart. But on the front, this is the bust point. We are going to measure down 1 inch like that. We do not want our darts to be pointed and meet right here along the bust point. So we just want to go down by 1 inch. And then we are going to construct the dart like so. So that will be the darts along the front and also along the side. The dart will be up to here. Okay. So that's how everything is going to be. These are our darts now, they are complete. There's one last thing that we are supposed to do. If you have got a smaller bust, for instance, if your bust is maybe up to 36 inches, this drawing will be complete. But if you're like myself with a bigger bust, mine is 42 inches, so I consider myself to be medium. You are then supposed to add this line and extend it to the bottom to account for the bigger bust so that you are fully covered along the front. This is so that your dress doesn't keep going up along the waist area. The addition here, it varies between 3/8 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch. In my case, because mine, I consider myself to be medium size, I'm going to go down by 3/8 of an inch from here going straight down. So I'm just going to mark here 3/8 of an inch. If your bust is maybe 46 inches and above, then you can go down by 3/4 of an inch. Then you are going to join this point to the center front like so. Next, we are going to draw a straight line like this. We are going to draw a straight line which is going to meet the center back right there. Then next, we are going to extend all the darts to the new line that we have drawn like so. Do the same. Also along the back. As I've said, for smaller busts like your 36 going down, you'll just end the bodice on this line. You don't have to add the extra one And thereafter, we're going to use a paper scissors to cut out the basic pattern. We are going to fold over the darts and close them before cutting out the pattern. So we are going to fold right here like so. Fold on one leg of our dart.
From this point.
And then we fold. There are paper underneath. We create a crease like so. We use our tracing wheel and we create a line right here. Next, we are going to draw the witch's head. We do the same along the shoulder dart. We fold it over like so. Hold it down right here. Create a crease, and then we use our tracing wheel. Next, we create the witch's head like so. Along the side, we're not going to fold over the dart. That is because we're going to cut and separate the patterns right here. So we are going to repeat the same thing that we did along the back right here. We are going to fold over the dart like so. Next, using the tracing wheel, we trace the line. And then we just have a small difference right here. And then we continue cutting out the pattern like so. We are then going to label our patterns. This is the front pattern and this is the back. So we are going to write, this is the front and this is the back. And again, we said this is the center front right here. So we are going to write the center front and this is the center back. So we label it as the center back. Now this line here is called the bust line. So we can label it as the bust line. Same thing to the back. This is the bust line. Next, along the center front of our bodice, we normally cut the center front on fold. That means we fold the fabric into two and then we place the center front on the folded edge and then we cut around. So we are going to indicate this by writing on fold. Maybe let me make this longer. Next, we are going to draw the crane line. This line is called the crane line. It indicates the direction of the weaving of the fabric. We are going to discuss that in detail later on. So this is our grain line at the back. So the arrows, they indicate that you can place the pattern facing down or facing up. Same thing to this, you can place it on either direction of the grain line of the fabric, like so or like so. Now we are done drafting our basic bodice. Later on, I'm going to show you how we can transfer the dart onto the middle of the shoulder and also onto the side of the bodice. Lastly, we're going to add some notches onto our basic patterns to mark the back and also the front. So we are going to mark a line at this point. I hope you can see this point right here. We put a notch, just one straight line, and then we come to the back also at this point. We are going to place another notch right there. Then for the back, it's going to be 2 notches. So we make another one like so. These are showing us that this is the back pattern or the back armhole, and this is the front armhole.
Thank you for watching the video up to the end. I hope you have learned a lot and you are going to apply all the lessons that you have learned. If you want to learn more on pattern drafting and sewing, make sure to register for our upcoming masterclass. If you want to learn more on pattern drafting and also sewing, make sure to register for our coming pattern making and sewing masterclass. Make sure to register to our pattern making and sewing masterclass at a discounted price of 50%. Make sure to register to our upcoming pattern making and sewing masterclass at a discounted price of 50% from the original price. The link is in the video description. Also leave us a comment down below and subscribe to the channel for more sewing and pattern making videos. See you in another class. Bye-bye.